on the tunnel. It's been a long time coming. Sorry, excuse me, I'm a bit out of practice, so if I'm waffling or can't string a sentence together, it's because I'm a half-wit. The brains of the outfit is down there. He's very tired. Usual thing, innit? I've been mad busy. You know, all winter in New Zealand. Then my mum dying. Then all that caper, having to clear the house and sell the house and, you know, the next step of my life. It's all quite stressful, especially for a nauser like me whose idea of stress is someone's moved into his swim that he wanted to go in. Anyway, obviously me and co-pilot Bert, do you know what I'm doing? I'm going exploring. I'm doing what I've always done. I'm not going to some lake that I know has got 5 30-kilo fish, or like some French circuit water where I have to turn up and there's like more people there than there would be on a lake in bloody England. My days of that are gone, I'm afraid. Not that they were ever there in the first place. I've just never had the time for sitting there waiting for stuff to happen. I've always had a short amount of time and had to make stuff happen. There's a big difference. So, right, first things first, where am I going to go? I'm going to go to that lake near Calais, because obviously it's close to where I get off here. I need to shave, don't I? Looking old. Yeah, go and check out the lake in Calais. I know it's going to be busy. It's been busy recently. I've had little snippets of people that have been there. Lots of people have asked me where it was, because lots of people like the idea of not having to drive too far in France, and I've told plenty of people, you know, but it's a busy lake. It's a busy lake in Calais, or near to Calais. So I'm going to fly in. You never know. These, you know, same as if you've got tickets in England, you know, you keep popping in on the off chance that a little opportunity might present itself. So I'm going to go there. Then I'm not going that far, actually. I've decided to, I said to me, see, you know, as soon as I get a couple of weeks, and I've got a potential to have 3 weeks, but a week of that's going to be with my girlfriend Sue, so I'm going to shoot her and pick her up and come back out, hopefully. And I was also going to nip into Belgium to see the boys. I still need to see ways to pay him for his bloody ticket, so I've got plenty of euros on me. Pop in to see Wes, but Rona's thrown another spanner in the works. They're not going to let me back in, or they will let me back in, but I'll have to quarantine for 2 weeks. I wonder if sitting on your boat on the River Thames for 2 weeks counts as quarantine, because that's what I'd be doing. So yeah, I don't need all that drama really. Quarantine, I don't know how strict it is or whatever, you know, I get back, lockdown was the same. I was just living the dream, wandering around, doing whatever I bloody liked. Going out walking every morning. I think in the whole of lockdown, I don't know if I said it on camera before, but 4 people I saw on my MAGA early morning walks. Oh, that's it. I think we're just about to depart. But I'm really happy to be going. I am feeling it. Oh my God. You know, I'm sure everybody is. You know, there's me waffling on like it's only me that's been affected by all this rubbish. But of course it isn't. You know, I've lost my mum and all everything to go with it, and loads of other people have lost people and had drama and lost their jobs and livelihoods. So you've got to be glass half full, wouldn't you? If you was glass half empty, excuse me, you'd be, you just wouldn't carry on. So glass half full, where am I going? Well, I'm going to go sort of into, there's quite a few little valleys. I started, like I said to you before, I went to the Somme Valley. Never been to the Somme Valley, always 500 miles headed south, you know. So a lot of the stuff close to Calais, or certainly Paris level and above, I haven't done much of it, unless it's been Far East. I've done a lot there, but I've always gone straight past all the local stuff, thinking, it'd be rubbish. Northern France, like Northern England, small carp. I'm joking. It's just a joke between my mates and I. But you know what I'm saying, there's giant carp everywhere in France, even very close. I mean, the canals in bloody Calais have got giant carp. It's just that nobody is man enough to fish there. I can't say I blame you, it's a bit mad at the minute with all the people trying to get into England and stuff. But bizarrely, the lake in Calais doesn't seem to have a problem with any of that. No immigrants coming around, no theft and stuff like that. I know it's been from Dutch mates and Belgian mates, it's been bad. If you've got a boat in a marina, they've been asking you to take your kit away, because the amount of outboards that have been going missing overnight and dinghies has just been phenomenal because of the old invasion. And I'll go to the lake in Calais, and then I'm going to be above Paris, but in that zone there's quite a few little, you know, you've got the Oise Valley, you've got the Somme Valley, you've got the Ain Valley. There's a load of little areas there with like ever increasing amounts of lakes. So I'm going to go and check a few out. They've probably all been fished to death 1,000 times. But listen, What I'm doing is adventure, is exploring, is having a lovely time. It's bloody hot. Bert's already cooked. It was 35 degrees yesterday. So anyway, enough waffling, because it's too hot to waffle, and I'm so out of practice with it. I probably have to say everything 50 times before I get it right. Yeah, so there we are. France, 2 weeks. And not before time. I will see you on the other side. Lovely to be back. Hoping, apart from maybe in a couple of nights on a couple of old spots I know on the river, hopefully everywhere else I'm gonna, you know, it's pot luck. We're just gonna have a little bit of an explore. I'm gonna have a few days fishing with my friend Dan, who's out here working on a commercial lake down near Shantycock. Gonna pop in and check my mate Mick's house, make sure everything's all good. Then I'm going to go, who knows, we're gonna have a little bit of an explore. So today, this is the only place that I'll be visiting. It's so hot in the car that as soon as I turn the aircon off, I'll steam my glasses up already. Right, so this week's going to be Tres Pandarized, no doubt. When I get home, I'm going to look absolutely ridiculous. Hopefully a bite or two, although, do you know what? It's been so long since I've been out, and it must be the same for everybody. I've just been champing, do you know what I mean? Going slowly mad. This is what I do. This is what I do. This is what I love doing. Bit of prospecting, bit of exploring, bit of freedom, catch or not, don't really matter to me. Got a lot of kit, a lot of bait, and I've got a couple of weeks in this temperature, and it's looking like 28s to 32 every single day I'm here, which is all right. At the minute, out here, it looks amazing, looking really good. Big wind blowing into me here, all the chickens are out in the middle, all the birds and all the grebes and all the cormorants. Sorry, I'm proper ham-fisted after a few months away. But yeah, all the chickens are out there. So what I'm going to do is sit here and have a watch. And I'll either be setting up later, or I'll be somewhere else. Oh, stinking hot day. Stinking hot. 38s, 37s. Anyway, after a long drive, set up for the night. I'm going to have a nice social and a barbie. And hopefully a bite or two. I'll see you in the morning, because I'm literally knackered. Well, would you believe it? Rods have only been out a couple of hours and I've got what looks like a 40 pounder. It's so hot, it's almost unbearable. And I've literally just forced my stake down and it's ripped off. It's ridiculous trying to shoot in this. I'll show you it in a minute. There you go. No sooner have I put mine back, and Dan's just had this one. It gave him hell of a fight, and the flies are terrible, and honestly I ain't putting the rods back out once they go. We're going to get some kit. It's unreal. It's still, my t-shirt soaked to the skin. There you go, 2 lovely carp in a couple of hours fishing. Wicked. Hope there's a few more, Dan, eh?
Yeah, why not?
Wicked.
Don't see why not.
Yeah, wicked. French breakfast for the boys, like. Lardons sizzling away in the pan. And then crack an egg into the lardon pot and then bash it in there. Oh, that's a good start to the day, I reckon. There you go, couple of eggs in the old lardon pot. They're browning off nicely. Bit of mould and sea salt. Give it a little jolly up. What do you want, Dan? Brown sauce or hot sauce? Of course it is brown sauce. Well, quick update. It's mind-bendingly hot. I'm under a brolly with my sleeping bag and a load of wet towels. You can see I'm already cooked to death. I've been putting factor 50 on. It's 40 degrees. It's really not very nice. And we've been getting bites. I think I've had 5 now. We had a disaster last night. It was literally one of the hottest nights I've ever fished in my life. Absolutely no exaggeration. We were trying to video the first carp I caught, which was a nice one. We thought it was 40 pounder, got it out, probably weren't. It was an upper 30, you know, 36 to 38, somewhere in that class. And the sweat was literally running down me so badly, and the flies were all just in front of the camera. Couldn't record anything. Anyway, he managed to do a bit, and I put it back, and when my hands were wet and I was so like, I had all salt in my eyes from the sweat and stuff, I deleted it because I'm a Joey. But you know, I think I've got just cause, because it's just vile. I can't tell you how hot it is. It's all right. As I'm saying that now, a beautiful breeze has sprung up, and I'm all of a sudden feeling better. Snoozle boy down there has been. I was a bit worried about him. It's a bit hot, so I keep throwing him in the lake every 30 minutes or so, and he seems to be all right. He doesn't seem to be too bothered by it, but I'm certainly bothered by it. I'm just not used to it. It kills me, and it is brutal as well. Brutal. I had a bite earlier on. It was 39 degrees, and it fizzed off like absolutely one toe. I'm thinking, carp really must be thick to be feeding in these. It was just, the water's like a bath. Can't even put your feet in it. So yeah, I mean, as for exploring at the moment around France, it's pointless. It's absolutely pointless. I think we're going to stay here for a couple of days. There's showers nearby. We've got access to a fridge here and all that. So, and we're living the dream. And it's just too hot to move. It's too hot to do anything. It's just laughable. So, oh yeah, if you could see me now, like where I'm hiding in this little tiny bit of shade under a brolly, it's quite funny. But honestly, you don't want to be. I can't take it anymore. If I go out again, I'm dreading getting another bite this afternoon. I've still got 3 rods out, and I'm thinking, oh God, I just know I'm going to get another one. And I'm praying that it's not till it cools off later, but I don't think I'm going to be that lucky. Crazy, innit? I haven't been to France for ages. Desperate to get out here, like going out of my mind. All I could think about was driving through the French lanes and that in the morning, and camping by quiet bits of river and all that old caper that I love doing. And I've got here and now I'm burnt to a crisp in like out of, oh my God, I really do need a shave. Anyway, you can't moan about it, do you know what I mean? I think we've had 8 or something in the first night. You know, you ain't putting them rods out again. Each rod will go, and then you're like, it stays in. It's nice to get a few bites. I'm enjoying it for what it is. And hopefully, unfortunately, the forecast is looking like, as I left home, there was forecast of thunderstorms in the UK, and I was thinking, oh, it'd be the same across that part of France then, or very similar, but no. It's looking to stay in the 30s. I think we've got one cool day of 28, and then the rest of it's 32, 33, 34. So I'm in no rush to leave this place. It's quite nice here. We haven't got any shade, which is a bit of a shame, or very little shade. But we're the only people here. It's beautiful. So I think we're going to do a couple of nights here, just because we're in holiday mode, and I'm certainly in holiday mode. And while the temperatures stay high, I'm not in any rush to be driving around. It's great driving around looking, if you know. That's probably what I'll end up doing. I intend to go to the River Seine next. That's my next port of call, for old time's sake, nothing more. Like I said before, there's been huge summer floods in this part of France. In the last 4 or 5 years, and I can't help but think there's more lakes now than ever. I've been gobsmacked. I've been looking on my iPad, and you know, the bits that I used to fish in the heavily laked areas, you know, you'd probably 20 or 30 lakes through these little valleys. Now I had a look at one of the bits the other day. I could stop counting at 200. It was just going on and on and on and on and on, and it's phenomenal. And they all seem to be stocked with carp, and an awful lot of them do seem to escape into the river at some point or other. Because it's just not the same here. You don't fence your stock in like everyone's doing in the UK these days. And I've been looking at it more and more in the last few years. I loved it on that bit of river. We cut our teeth there. We learnt the hard way. You know, starry-eyed and all that. Like, it was difficult fishing back then. But the fish were ancient and giant, some of them. Not giant by today's standards, obviously. And they all just got nicked and put into pay lakes. Around the time that everyone started buying lakes and setting them up in France, to the point where it was just pointless going there anymore. You know, it was real hard to catch anything. But I'm hoping that's changed. I'm going to go out and have a couple of nights for old. Oh, here we go. We got a bite. I have a visitor. Oh, lovely times. I better sort him out. Oh, they're still coming, even in this temperatures, which is just mind-bending.
Yeah, it's always like that here.
Lovely. Cracking common. I'm happy with that one.
Yeah, good condition, isn't she?
Yeah, beautiful. As usual, complete carnage Two lovely carp. They're well spawned out, these ones, but they're very hungry. There's just bites galore. It's getting a bit much now. Yesterday 40 degrees, sunstroke for me, bed, feeling sick, not very nice, and just loads of bites. Yesterday I haven't sat in weather like that for a long time, and I don't want to again. But yeah, we're going to have one more night of this, and as nice as it is, it's way too hot for this caper. We're going to get off exploring, eh Dan?
Why not?
Have a little look about, go to the river next I think, and then work our way about from there. Pack up. Oh, loads of spawned out ones and then a 50-pounder. It's a funny old game carp fishing, isn't it? It always makes me smile. But what a belter, eh? It's the end of the day. It's been another brutally hot day, but something's changed. There was a bit of an electrical storm last night, and although we didn't get any rain, it definitely cooled it a bit. And although the water temperature's still up near 30 degrees, there's been a stiff breeze today and they fed really well. And this is just the culmination of a load of bites today. What a lovely carp, eh? I'll show you the other side of him. Oh, he's an heavy old beast, but what a lovely carp, eh? Mental fight, but they've all been mental fights, but this one was just that bit extra, you know, kept taking line out in the middle of the lake. Different carp, this one, very thick set, proper gob, proper French cod. Oh, the sweat's pouring off me. I'm going to get it back. And yeah, pasture's new tomorrow. Oh, cracking sunny evening and a whacker to go with it. Oh mate, what a lovely day, eh? Fish like that, oh, they just make your trip. Oh. Wicked, lovely times. From big to small, but cracking all the same. Lovely, he's a lovely one, isn't he? Nice old scaly beast. Another lovely carp. They're all a bit thin at the minute. This incredible hot weather. Oh, I'll tell you what, it don't matter how spawned out they are, they fight like monsters, let me tell you. This is just one of many. I'm sort of not even filming them in order, you just pick one up and when you get a minute you can do a bit. Most of the time we haven't had a minute, so. Anyway, we're off from here today. Start our adventure. I'm not sure where we're going to go. We're going to have a little conflab. We started to last night, but we were both so tired I didn't have the brain, I still can't, look, I can't talk. Didn't even have the brain power to look through and do a bit of research. Man, I'm cooked. Right, let's get this one back, have a bit of breakfast. There's no rods out as usual. And I'm tired, I'm stinking. I need a shower, man, I need a shower. Or jump in the water and have a good wash. Off today, the adventure begins. Right, bit of a treat for you this morning, check this out. It's a lovely one, mate, isn't it, eh? What a touch. Jesus Christ, that's just the most incredible feat. It looks unreal in real life. On the image, it must be mad. Lovely carp, Dan, nice one.
Lovely times.
Yeah, mate, that's lovely times. Look at the size of the bloody thing. Incredible, it must be 4.5 foot long. Amazing, mate, well done. Look at it, hey. Well, first lake on our stop. Right next to the river. And look at it, it's tap clear, beautiful. It's quite a big pit, goes all the way up there, the only area of open water. It's right up that end, and I'm not sure if I can get up there yet, but I'm going to go and have a look. Some birds just flew over and spooked a load of carp in one of these holes. There was a big explosion. So yeah, I'm going to have a little mooch. See if we can find a spot to fish from. If not, no dramas, we'll push on, have a little mooch somewhere else. It's a lovely looking place, but I would imagine hooking and landing them is not going to be very easy. But yeah, exactly what we're looking for. Old pit, look at it. Old, surrounded by trees, full of weed, unkept. Obligatory French teenagers gearing up for a Friday night party on the other bank, playing their techno music. But yeah, it's beautiful, isn't it? Look at that. Oh. Yeah, we're going to have a mooch. Yeah, rocked up at this lovely bit of river. I think it's a bit of the River Marne, actually. Really greeny blue, deep and lovely looking. Not much pace, but it's a very beautiful spot nonetheless. Sit and have a fag and see if anything's splashing about. Probably not. So we make our decision. It's a toss-up between here and the other lake, which, although weedy, we can fish short in the holes of the weed for night. Nice private bit round the back we found. We'll go and have a look. Lovely times. Look, it's a lovely bit of river. It's not nice. It is what you call down. That'd be alright, it's actually eased off a bit. Might have just been a passing shower. But anyway, we'll sit here for a minute. It's not the end of the world, is it, Bert? Bert thinks it is. Nice old rainbow, look. Beautiful. Yeah, I bet. Oh, nice little spot this is, I tell you. Hopefully we'll be left alone here tonight. I'm going to have a nice little barbecue, and we've got just the most epic view downstream. Big bit of river. Well, I say big bit of river. It's big enough, and we've got plenty of view, so it'll be a nice evening. We couldn't really have it much easier tonight, but we're knackered, and like so knackered, we just dropped straight into this swim, and we decided to stay. And it's very beautiful, and etc, etc, and we're very tired. But we've actually seen downstream where that like kinks round and widens out there. It's several hundred yards wide. And there's been some big old spaloshers, let me tell you. We don't know what they are. It might be catfish. I don't think so. One of them I was pretty certain was a carp, so was Dan. So yeah, lovely times. A lovely swim. It's all looking good. Cars are right behind us, which is not very often. But yeah, that'll do for tonight, won't it? Quite exciting. See you in a bit. Yep, all rods out. Let's give you a, yeah, I've got one rod up to my right off the tree line. I think it's 14.5 feet, flattens out, clear, lovely. Tiger's on the inside, rather than the pellets and boilies, they tend to get ravaged. So yeah, tigers and a couple of handfuls of bits and bobs with it. But we've concentrated on the middle of the river. It's deep, 20 foot, flat, 20 foot. Very quickly from this margin, it's 19 foot as it levels out, and it's pretty flat all the way across. We've seen fish downstream of us, so we've given them some oily loveliness. And hopefully, I've got like krill active, super attractive, Calais liquid poured all over it, some old bottles of liquid krill I had and other stuff all mixed in it. Yeah, it's looking prime time. Get some food inside us and get to bed. Fingers crossed we don't get a tug. See you in the morning. Oh, what a change, eh? It was stinking hot, even when it was absolutely stair rods last night and thunder and all that. I was still sweating in my tent terribly. It was unbelievably hot. But it cooled off eventually and I fell asleep. And then I got chubbed. Both rods gone, look. One in the night and one at first light. and we think we might have heard one carp, maybe two. There's lots of sploshing downstream where the river widens out, but there might be chub and barbel, you know, you just don't know on the river. There's so many things that make a decent splosh. And yes, it's beautiful this morning, looking very nice indeed. We just stopped. We actually got here by mistake. I meant to be on the other side of the river, but this is the lock cut downstream of where we fished last night. That 4 mile stretch, and then we pulled up here, and just like there's loads of bubbling and loads of colour, big coloured patches, and thought this looks good. Loads of chub and stuff rolling out in the river. And then down here we just seen a big long orange koi, Roy the koi, but we ain't caught him. And I keep seeing Roy, but I don't see no carp with him, so I'm guessing that a lot of what we're seeing and all this colour in between the weed are the little chub and stuff. But either way, I'm going to stop here. Can you hear that water? There's also a pipe coming in, which I think's all the rainwater from last night. So if Roy's on his own, that's not really a good sign for us, but we've got a rod out each. Probably not supposed to be fishing this close to the lock, but I'm going to give it an hour and then get on our merry way. We've got another lake to look at a few miles downstream. Hopefully before then, old Roy's on the end. You never know your luck. Well, another evening, busy day, mooching about, looking at ponds. It's a river, canal. We've ended up here. It's been another hot day. It's lovely and shady here, but we are in this very beautiful whirlpool on the River Marne. It's lovely. It's quite remote. Dan's having to go for some chub or whatever he can catch, trotting corn. As you can see, it's tray comfortable. Kit, we've got the barbecue is going. Lovely times. Standard French procedure, you don't set up until it gets dark. Oh my god, I'm not looking great. Anyway, I've already had half a bottle of wine. Oh, it's been so hot for the last few days. We had a mega storm last night. I filmed a bit of it. Rained and rained and rained. If I'm tonight's treating myself. It's quite expensive, that one. £10 or so. Anyway. Oh, what's happening? There I am. So yeah, I'm a bit dishevelled. A little bit half cut, very tired. Jesus, another long day mooching around. But you know what? It's so enjoyable. Last night, like definitely had a carp. It was stuff going on, just so exciting. So yeah, beautiful whirlpool, bit of barbecue food. We're both absolutely knackered. The panda eyes are coming on lovely, look. And yeah, hopefully I'll see you in the morning with a carp. You never know your luck. You're right back. Let's get on. Well, it was looking good yesterday, and it picked up again southwesterly earlier on. There was only one rod fishing, and that was my rod down to the left. It looked so good. You've got like 200 or 300 yards with no swims down there. It just looked lovely. Anyway, it's all clay bottomed and stodgy and it's hard to find any sort of drop, but as luck would have it, obviously the rig landed on a rock or a stone and I got a drop. I didn't jig it again, I just put a couple of scoops of pigeon mix and a few boilies and tiger nuts over it, and yeah, it's just gone. And I've got one down there. Lovely times. Have a look at him in a minute. Well, he'll do for the first one, won't he? Wicked. On the end of the wind, sticky clay bottom. It looked too good for there not to be a bite in it, and sure enough there was a bite in it. Wicked, eh? Lovely carp. It'll do, bush. Old back can't take many more of them. Oh. Lovely. You're right there, are you? In my bed. Little weasel. I've only just got to Belgium. My mate Wesley's at work, so it's red hot. I went to get a super sandwich, my favourite sandwich: ham, cheese, egg, pickles, mayonnaise, salt and pepper, and a crusty roll, very nice, and a Worcesterbrooch, a bit like a sausage roll with curry ketchup in. And now I'm back at the pond. I put one rod out because it's like literally water sports hell out there. And already I got this one, a 30-pounder or thereabouts. Very lovely carp. It's too hot for this palaver really, but very interested in this one for some reason. This one was just out the edge, over 3 or 4 pouchfuls of 20mm krill active. Whew. And hopefully there'll be another one shortly, but not too shortly because it's way too hot. Yeah, I'm not getting cast out just yet. Oh, morning, it's a right old treat this morning. I've not been filming because I filmed here before, so rather than show the same thing again, you know, I've not been filming. I've caught a few, but up till this point it's been a bit quiet. But I've got what I always come here for, and that's one I haven't caught before, and I've got an old original, probably as old as me, and that's saying something because I'm 50 years old in April next year. And this is an absolute banger. I've looked at pictures of it for many years, and my mate Wesley holding it, and it's never turned up until last hour or so ago. About the last hour. Oh, I had a little common, and then this one. Hopefully he's just calming down enough now I can pick him up for you. And he is an absolute belter. There's a fish called the halfling, and he's an ancient one, a real ancient one, and living history, this one. So I'm very, very privileged and very pleased to have caught it on such a carpy morning. Yeah, what a lovely carp, eh? You can't go wrong with that for sure. I'm over the moon. Oh, it's a nice mid-afternoon surprise. It's cool today for the first time. And wind's been blowing away from me, so I've chucked a couple of rods down to the left. I've just caught this 40-pounder. 18.5 kilos, this one. That's a lovely carp, isn't it? I've never had a fight like it in this lake. I mean, they all fight hard, but Jesus, that was different gravy, let me tell you. Right, hang on. Oh, it's very heavy. Let me just, as usual, tell you what, my old back's not in a great state. 2 weeks on a bed chair. As usual, I've got the thing too low. It's just had a bit of rain actually, which is weird. They don't usually catch them here in the rain, but anyway. It's stopped, it's been off and on. But what a lovely carp, eh? Ooh! And he pulled my string. What a great trip I've had. But you know what? I'm ready to go home, I tell you. Just want a nice bath and a night in a flat bed so my back can start to recover. Lovely times. He'll do, eh? Morning. Well, afternoon now. God, my hair is very yellow and weird. Yeah, mega trip, eh? What a mega trip. Didn't film much in the last few days in Belgium because I filmed there last year. I didn't really want to go through the old stuff again. Like I said, I mainly went just to pay me syndicate tickets, see me friends. But yeah, I had a lovely few days there. I don't know how many fish, probably 15 to 20, more 20 than 15 I think. and some really lovely carp, as usual. A good trip all in all, despite the heat and the awfulness and the illness, Jesus, and the madness. Now everyone walking around with masks on. I got shouted at for going in a shop without a mask on. Just, I'm tired. Normally I go home, I'm tired because of the fishing. This time I'm tired because of the heat and the madness. But I'm looking forward to getting a night's kip. I haven't had a proper night's kip in 2 weeks. But a great trip all the same. Loads and loads of fish, loads of 30s, a few 40s, and a lovely 50 pounder from France. Certainly nothing to complain about. Way too hot and bad timing. I never usually go to France in August unless it's down to Calais. And the reason we go down there is because despite the heat, the lake's deep and it stays cool. So what we're going to do is get home, get out on the boat, get some food dropped down to me, quarantine on my boat for 2 weeks or whatever, and then go back to France, I reckon. Sounds like a good plan, doesn't it? But yeah, I'm back to my old self, super again. Wasn't very talkative for the first part of this trip because I was so bloody ill. It was down to one day. I was under a brolly in the middle of a field with nothing around me, and it got so bad in the end I was soaking the sleeping bag, putting it over the brolly, but like under the brolly must have been 55 or something, and I could just feel myself getting sicker and sicker. I've never had a headache like it, and I never want one like that again. And there was a lesson to be learnt there, even for an old dog like me. So yeah, I'll see you next time. Hopefully I'll be a bit more in the swing of things, and I have a bit more to say. But certainly there'll be plenty of carp, I'm sure, and some nice places to look at. So I'll see you soon.